Welcome to Douglas County Digest, where today we're interviewing JeanChrostoski, the superintendent of Arcola School District. So, Jean, welcome.
Hi.
And tell us about your professional journey that got you here to Arcola to begin with.
Well, I think I always say that God kind of leads you in your path in life, or I would say that I was looking for a place that had an interstate, but no, Tacoma School District is where I was at prior to coming to Arcola. There's similar complexion and communities, and I felt that Arcola had some opportunities for me in terms of the uniqueness of its diversity that might be a good experience for me. And the consultant who was doing the job search reached out to me because they were looking for a particular candidate.
So, in being here in the last 5 years, in that time, what did your administration accomplish?
I think we've done a lot of wonderful things in the last 5 years. There have been a great deal of demand in terms of student performance. We have a diverse population. We focused in on what skills we needed for that. We've done a lot of maintenance, advancements in the district since that time. We have also just recently passed the facility sales tax with the help of the entire county in doing that. And the district has become financially responsible. When I came in 2008, I think there was about 2.9 in the education fund. Although we've had a high of over 4 million, we still are at about, we'll end the year about 3 million. We're in the education fund alone. So I think we have tried to the board has tried to be fiscally responsible, and we, compared to other districts, I think we're pretty stable. So.
How did these accomplishments, especially being financially responsible, how did they change the direction of the Arcola School District, and why?
Well, we're about students and opportunities, and I think we are really trying to make some headway in getting them ready for college. We've done several changes, and when we look at personnel, one of the goals of the board was to get the best people that we can find, and that's been a mission of ours, is to get the best candidate that we have. We have 2 teachers that are, last year and then next year we'll have another one, 2 teachers who actually come from Spain through their program, so that we can provide some opportunities to our specific culture in terms of education, and we feel really good about that. I think the district is looking always to the future at what is best for the students, and we are in unprecedented times right now. They've had to look seriously at making some cuts. We'll make some more cuts in the future. And their goal is to maintain a quality program for their students. Does that mean at some point they may have to look at joining forces with other school districts in the area? Yeah, that's something that they've talked about. But and I'll just talk about the C word. The C word is consolidation. I don't think they or I view it the same as others do. If the format that you're looking at right now is something that you choose to do in terms of consolidation, all you're going to do is get a bunch of schools who may have some financial difficulties, and you have a big school that has a lot of financial difficulties. I think if the county, Douglas County, decides to move in that direction, and that's probably the way that it would go as a county school district, it would look a lot differently. Maybe you would have a high school that focuses on vocational and another one that focuses on more college performance. And you may not be closing specific buildings because of the geography of it, but I think you have to look at not the typical type of consolidation effort, but how do you put things together for the betterment of students. And on the finance end of the side, it may not be much different than it is now. Because I really can't see just saying you're going to consolidate with somebody being a financial gain in all cases, or in most cases, especially the geography, if you have to worry about transporting students from one area to the other, and transportation isn't going to be reimbursement. So there's a lot of things that have to take place before the C word would be something that Douglas County as a whole would take a look at.
What do you feel are the qualities that are unique to the Arcola School District that sets it apart from everyone else?
They are the most welcoming community in my career, and I think for other people and other students who come in here, doesn't matter if you have 5 ears, 4 heads, whatever it might be. I said people come in and welcome you, and they try to help you, and I feel that we're very individualized. There may be some naysayers out there, and schools always have them, that maybe they didn't get treated or didn't get the opportunities that they wanted. But I think the majority of our parents and community members would say that the one special thing about the amazing Arcola is that everybody is welcome here, and we do try to meet the needs of anyone who steps through the door.
What do you think is the school's role in the community?
It is the community pretty much, because I've never been anywhere where there have been so many people that would support no matter what you do. The number of volunteers who come in and just say, I want to help out in this, or I want to donate money here. The Arcola Foundation is a key example of that. We now have an education foundation within the Arcola Foundation, and we have people that if you need something, they will help out. They have a lot of pride in their district, and it's very positive, and just a lot of involvement. And I think the school is a nucleus for everything that goes around in the community, and they involve us in just about anything, you know, be it the chamber or the churches. The school is just a key factor in all of that.
What goals do you hope that the school district accomplishes even after you're gone in the next 5 or 10 years?
I would like for them to continue with the standards that they have set, with their beliefs and their vision that they have created. One thing I would like to see happen was for our district to be able to take a little bit of a leap on some one-on-one technology, where, you know, students are able to take some devices at home. We are fortunate that we have some community members who are interested in making a financial investment in that, because that's what you're going to need. The district would have to work on infrastructure, which the facility sales tax and some of the other revenue streams that have nothing to do with salary, which is the critical thing, would be able to help with that. I would like to see, you know, being open-minded in the next 5 or 10 years about what Douglas County schools would look like, and making some changes that have the students, you know, in the front of that. Unfortunately, you know, you have to tread with a little bit of caution and hope, because the way the state is right now, they've tweaked test scores to make us look like we're not as smart as we used to be, and at the same time give us less money to do it. We're in a no-win situation. So I think continue to have that very strong spirit and perseverance, and I think eventually this too will pass, and Douglas County schools will look, and Arcola School District will look a little bit differently in the next 5 to 10 years, where our kids will still be prepared for college and be very competitive on every field, be it fine arts or the football, whatever it might be.
Where are you headed then in your next career advancement?
Well, I have accepted a position in the state of Wyoming, and I'm still trying to take that in and digest that myself. I talked to my secretary yesterday. He was getting a little concerned about how much time was left, and I said, you know, I can't even, or people asked me, are you getting excited? This morning somebody asked me, are you getting excited? And I said, I can't do that. I said, because I have my work here to do. But yes, I am taking a huge leap of faith of going to the state of Wyoming. They seem very nice people there, and it'll be a tremendous challenge for me, but I think something that I probably need at this point in my career. If I'm going to do something wild and different, now's the time to do it.
So why did you choose to move?
I am of an age where pension reform is very critical. I don't see anything good happening with that. And there have been so many things thrown out there in terms of what they would take away from those of us who've been vested in the system. And for me, it's 30 years. What you might lose. I think I would rather tap into it now when I know what the benefits would be, than wait and see what could or could not happen in the next 2 years, or maybe even next week. Who knows what will happen. I had 2 years left on this contract, so my original plan was to wait till that contract expires, and then I knew that I wanted to start looking at places out of state. What happened though is that I had a son at the University of Nebraska in Lincoln, and as I was just browsing around getting emails from various organizations about job postings, I noticed that there was one consulting firm that seemed to reappear no matter which state it was in terms of superintendent searches. And when I looked a little further on it, I noticed their home office was in Omaha. So that was very close to where my son was at, so I just made a contact with a consultant asking for advice on how do you market yourself if you want to go out of state. You know, what do you do? Where, you know, people think, what are you running from? For my own experience, if I get an applicant from out of state, it usually goes at the end of the pile. I said, how do you overcome that? And he was very helpful, and also gave some advice on, well, if you're going to go out of state, and then it really doesn't matter where you go, and it didn't really matter with me. He said you need to target those that aren't in the same position that Illinois is. Wyoming is one of them. There were several others. I feel very, very privileged to even have the opportunity There are probably 700 superintendents in the state of Illinois. There are 46 in Wyoming. So just the mere chance that there was an opening was unbelievable. But as I said in the beginning, you know, God puts you where He wants you to be, and apparently that's where He wants me to go right now, or all these things wouldn't have just played out the way they have.
What do you think you will miss most about the Arcola School District and the community?
Everything. It's easier to go when, you know, people are probably critical of what you're doing, or there's some rough times with your Board of Education, and over your career you get that. But there's absolutely nothing that I can say is besides the state of Illinois and the pension reform that would want me to leave. I'd be here forever if that weren't the issue. The community has been just fabulously supportive of me. The staff here have been tremendous. The Board of Education, and I know that I get thrown rocks at me every time I go to other school districts, but I have an outstanding board. We have a wonderful relationship. They've been very good to me. It was a very tough decision just being able to notify them that I was leaving. I said my secretary bookkeeper here is also a best friend. It's very difficult to leave a place that has been so good to you. I mean, I have nothing at all. I can't think of anything that's bad about Arcola. The next person who comes here will be truly blessed.
So what advice would you give not only the interim superintendent, but the next one to fill your shoes? What advice would you give them?
I would wish the best for them. I would continue to stay the line with the board on being financially responsible, and there will be some tough times in terms of making some more cuts. I would continue to listen to staff on what their goals and what their aspirations are, because they're tremendous. We have some that are so hungry for technology, and that is why that's one of the things I'd like to see a little bit, if I can get the funding piece to it, launched off for that, because I think they can do some amazing things here. And then continue to look for the best people. They're out there. We have a lot of them here, but we do have people, and we have some people who are leaving now for a variety of different reasons, but it doesn't have anything to do about the Arcola School District. It has to do more like such a my decision, a personal thing that's come forward where they can advance themselves. But and embrace the community and the people and be involved. They like seeing the school out there. They like seeing this position out and communicating and be as visible as you can, you know. But I think that as long as the person comes in, listens to the needs of the district, they'll be very successful. It's very difficult not to be successful in Arcola because you have so much support.
Is there anything then you'd like to close with, you'd like to say to the rest of the community?
No, just thank you, Douglas County. It's been a great ride, and I'll be back. You know, it's just a flight back here, but I have met lifelong friends here, and I've had experiences that have been, you know, things that I'll never forget and very difficult to leave. But no, it's a great place to be, and Arcola is truly amazing.